What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and John Boyega is not one to shy away from telling you how he feels, especially in regards to Disney Star Wars and the sequel trilogy. And as the sequel trilogy kind of comes to an end, we're hoping we hear more and more people that really start to speak out that worked at Lucasfilm or worked on the sequel trilogy. We heard Daisy Ridley just the other day say that it was nice to have the real Luke Skywalker back. We know Daisy Ridley has kind of thrown a little shade at The Last Jedi before, but no one who's been a part of this has thrown more shade than John Boyega, and he continues to do so. This time in regards to Oscar Isaac and his new movie Dune that is really highly anticipated. Some of the shots that came out from that looked absolutely awesome. Now there's been a lot of talk about potential identity politics in it, some gender swap role. That's not what this video is going to be about. This one's going to be focused on John Boyega and him shading Star Wars once again. So let's take a look at it. John Boyega throws shade at Disney Star Wars sequels after seeing Oscar Isaac as Duke Leto Atreides in Dune. Star Wars actor John Boyega, who played Finn in the Disney sequel trilogies, threw some shade at the films while hyping his Star Wars co-star Oscar Isaac's upcoming role as Duke Leto Atreides in Dune. Boyega took to Twitter to react to recently released photos of him as Duke Leto Atreides. He wrote, "Kinel Oscar, #Dune." And I gotta admit, this is a pretty badass picture of Oscar Isaac. A lot of these pictures look pretty sick. They're really simple, but I'm really liking the aesthetic that has come out. And this one for sure. And Oscar Isaac is a dude who kind of takes over a lot of movies that he is in. I've seen a lot of great movies with Oscar Isaac, but somehow in the Disney sequel trilogy, Poe is just an afterthought. None of these characters had any chemistry. It was kind of a shame that you had someone like Oscar Isaac in there just relegated to a backseat role in the sequel trilogy. But you can see the comment right there. However, that's not all John Boyega said. However, in what now appears to be a deleted comment, Boyega threw some shade at the Disney sequel trilogies. He wrote, here, I'll just show it right here. So he says, YTF, so why the we ain't get that in Star Wars. And then a bunch of sad faces. Now, this is not a surprise. Again, we have talked about John Boyega constantly, whether it's whether it's clapping back to fans who are talking to him and basically saying his feelings about Star Wars, whether it's sitting there and saying it's a ridiculous idea for anyone to compare Anakin Skywalker and Rey or Kylo, that Anakin would absolutely wipe the floor with them. We have heard John Boyega over and over and over again, whether it's pointing and laughing, whether it's calling these people out, saying that the sequel trilogy has basically just been trashed. You can tell how he feels about it. It's very obvious. And we'll get in some other responses that he had and some other fans as well on Twitter. Now, I do have to give a shout out to That Tug Life and My Nerdy Home. They both sent me screenshots because they follow him on Instagram to prove that this was true before this was even in this Bounding into Comics article. But thank you for John Trent for writing this, and thank you to them for alerting me to it initially. And here it is. I must be true to my namesake. I love you, John Boyega. It's Oscar Nuts. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I won't read it. I effing love John Boyega. His character deserved far more than we got. God, John Boyega is truly the only celebrity I do not despise. A lot of people coming around on John Boyega, really enjoying what he's saying about Star Wars lately. While Boyega appears to have deleted the comment on Instagram, he did express a similar sentiment on Twitter. He responded to this fan right here. The fan said, "At John Boyega was honestly robbed of so much in Star Wars. A former stormtrooper turned Jedi would have been some GOAT level plot work." And John Boyega says, would have been crazy. Likes a tweet, would have been crazy. So he agrees. Boyega's no stranger to throwing shade at the Disney sequels. Back in December, he detailed that he did not agree with many of the choices made in Last Jedi, and he described Finn's role as a bit iffy. The Force Awakens was the beginning of something quite solid. The Last Jedi, if I'm being honest, was a little iffy. That was that quote right there. And then we've gone into this before on the channel. Now, this is ironic. We were just talking about That Tug Life. There is her tweet from a while ago. They really did Finn dirty. He has the most interesting backstory of all the new characters. They decided to push him to the side instead. It sucks. John Boyega, I really didn't know many fans felt this way. And I honestly think after that was a big moment when he saw how many fans supported him and supported the fact they felt like he was robbed of something. Now, again, you guys know my opinion on The Force Awakens. I don't think that The Force Awakens was a solid start of something. I think it's typical J.J. Abrams. It's a house of cards. There's not really much there, but it kind of looks cool. I just don't buy that there was ever a big universe. It never felt like Star Wars to me. I just didn't believe it. And when you don't have a solid plan going forward, you're just left with little hints here and there and flashy things to make you think that it's something is actually good and worthwhile when it just wasn't. It was overhyped. It was hypnosis, as Doomcock likes to say. But John Boyega, again, showing that he has not forgot about Star Wars. Now, evidently, he was doing a Star Wars Instagram, or an Instagram Q&A live today, and he was not answering any question about Star Wars. So maybe he's done talking about it for a while, but I'm sure it's not the last we've heard from him about Disney, Lucasfilm, and his disappointment with the sequel trilogy. But I want to know what you guys think about John Boyega. I enjoy it when he talks. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things John Boyega says, but the fact that he is not afraid to go out there and say exactly how he feels about this product that he was a part of, this organization that he was a part of. He knows what was going on, and he knows that it wasn't as good as it should have been. And he's right. I'm actually going to go back. I never do this. I'm going to go back. Like, just this simple little picture had everybody on fire. Because they're like, why couldn't we have something like this in Star Wars? Why did we end up getting what we had? And it's a good question. They had everything there. And Lucasfilm decided to throw it all away, all the stuff that had happened before, go their own way, and thinking people would just buy it because it says Star Wars. And that's not going to work forever. We're already seeing it. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.